Hear ye, a very patriotic 4th of July sack tap coming to you on the 5th starts right now.
You're listening to the Savage Sack Tap. It's not a podcast, it's not a half-cast, it's just a quick shot to the balls to help you finish off the week. We're cutting through the bullshit, filling your Friday with rage-fueled logic, and cracking a few jokes along the way. So grab a bag of frozen peas. There's a Savage Sack Tap coming your way.
Smooth, lascivious, salacious, outrageous.
Alright, here's the deal, you fucks. Obviously, I am in a very, very echoey room. I'm gonna open the window to see if I can kill some of the echo real quick. Probably won't help too much, but what the fuck are you gonna do? Again, happy 5th of July, you patriotic motherfuckers. I didn't think I'd have much of an audience on the 4th. I probably won't have much of an audience on the 5th either, but what the fuck are you gonna do? Nobody watches this fucking dog shit. But in the spirit of doing one live stream and one podcast a week, I had to do one, so we're doing one from down the shore. Probably won't be the long. I keep saying that it probably won't be a full episode. Probably only do 20 minutes, and then I wind up doing the full hour anyway. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't fucking know. I have no idea how long this thing's gonna go. But I've been catching up on sleep lately, so I don't know. Maybe I'm weirdly energized. I got like 10 hours last night and fucking 10 hours the night before. I feel fresh like this fresh ass lid, motherfuckers. Tri-corner hat up in this bitch. But what do we got going on? It was quite a week. I went, by the way, my name is Mike Monteau. This is the Savage Sack Tap. You guys already knew that. And again, if the audio blows and you're listening to this on Libsyn, you know the audio quality is usually better. I'm in a particularly echoey room today, so fucking deal with it. I don't know. Turn the episode. If you don't like it, just turn the episode off. I don't know. Suck my dick. Delightful week. I went to the New York City Pride Parade on Sunday. I had to go for work. My job now entails interviewing people and then taking those interviews and turning them into like little comedy bits. So I was out at the Pride Parade interviewing the twinks. A lot of twinks, not a lot of bears. I thought there would be more bears, but it was a very hot day. And I guess if you're a bear, which is like a burly, hairy gay man, it wouldn't be the best day to be outside. So maybe they were inside in an air-conditioned gay bar or something like that. We want the bears to have fun. But just the nicest people in the world. Could not find a friendlier group, and they explained for us, one of the things they did was break down some of the gay community's terminology. Because we've all heard the word twink, but there are actually multiple variants of the twink. You have twinks, you have twanks, you have twunks, you have otters. There's just so many different things you can be. So a twink is a slender, boyish gay man. And then a twunk is like a twink who has a little bit of muscle tone. And what I found interesting was that among the gay community, the degree of muscle that you need to have to make the jump from twink to twunk, not that much. Like literally a guy who you could be a twink and I feel like do 100 push-ups before you went out to the bar and get like a little bit of a pump, maybe eat some rice and some sodium, some soy sauce, get swelled up a little bit, and you go from twink to twunk just like that. It was definitely an interesting, kind of insight into their world. And then, of course, the otter would be like if you had a twink who was very hairy, because to become a bear, like I said, is a big hairy gay man, but you have to be big to be a bear. So if you have enough hair to be a bear, but not enough size, they classify you as an otter. But it was all very interesting, and like I said, the nicest people in the world. Like if it's 2019, if you're still a homophobe, if you hate the gays, you don't like them, you're like, it's probably because you want to try a penis. That's like the only thing I can figure out. Like if you're walking around there, and if you're really that grossed out and worried, it's probably because somewhere deep down you're like, you know what? I wouldn't mind taking one of those things for a test drive. Otherwise, if you're normal, just walk around, friendly people. You know who I do dislike is the couple I sat next to on the bus on the way home. I'm trying to figure out the best way to describe them. I couldn't figure out if they were like half white, half Hispanic, or if they were just like those really dumb white people who try to talk like hood rats. But they both appeared pretty young, like early 20s, and both had, I think the guy, or both of them had kids from other people, and in between giving each other, you know, those annoying, like tender kisses that couple, like, there is nothing I hate more than being around a couple who are exchanging tender kisses. If you're gonna make out and full on tongue fuck each other with a little fingering going on, or maybe a little hand job or some dry humping, by all means, at least put on a fucking show. But there is nothing more uncomfortable than a couple doing the whole tender kiss thing and talking about how much they love each other. That just grosses me the fuck out. People get grossed out at the Pride Parade. I get grossed out by couples exchanging tender kisses. Ew. Ugh. But they were doing that and talking about how much they loved each other, and it was them against the world, and I don't really know what that means, because I feel like the world probably sees these two and is like, yeah, we don't have time to be against you. You are not significant enough for us to be against. But the entire, like, I'm talking about, it was like a 40-minute bus ride because there was traffic coming out of the city, and the entire fucking time these two scumbags were just giving each other tender little pecks and talking about how much they loved each other. The chick said something. She said, what the fuck did she say? It was something so monumentally stupid that I'm ashamed that I don't remember it. It was something along the lines of like, I wanna slap the shit out of every woman who let you go before, just so they know how stupid they are, or like something dumb like that. I don't fucking know. And then they were talking about like picking up food, and the guy's like, I just need you to know I'm not into that. I'm not down with picking up food right now, and I gotta express myself. And I was like, wow, these two are fucking retarded. They must have just started dating relatively recently, because it was a hardcore honeymoon phase situation that appeared to be going on. I'm sorry that I won't get to see is like 6 months from now, when they're at each other's throats and accusing each other of all sorts of shit. That's when it's going to get really entertaining, but what are you going to do? Anyway, what else? What other kind of weirdos did I see on the bus? Oh, fuck. I was on my way home from work the other day, and I hear someone doing the old which it fucking disgusts me. There are few one of my buddies actually does it aggressively, and like you learn to live with around him because he's got so many redeeming qualities that you're just like, all right, well, every once in a while I gotta hear you fucking hawk. But this was on like, you're in a packed in on a fucking bus, and this disgusting lady is just and then she picks up a fucking newspaper off the seat next to her and just fires a loogie into the newspaper, folds it, crumples it up, and puts it back down on the seat. I'm like, what the fuck is it? Where the fuck are these people coming from? Like, I'll be the first to say, like, I'm not Mr. High Class, Mr. High Polite. I'm just a dude. But I'm not going around hawking gross loogies into newspapers on the bus and leaving the crumpled remnants on the seat. I feel like there's a line that we can draw. But yeah, just completely disgusted me. Bus people are very weird. And it's an odd thing when you live in the New York City area, because you get a lot of, everyone uses public transportation. So there will be people who are making six figures a year riding public transportation in New York. Like right next to the homeless guy who's jerking off on the subway is an investment banker pulling down 200K. It's a fascinating ecosystem, and what happens is you wind up getting exposed to just all manner of creep and weirdo. So that's what I ran into on the bus the other day, and then I was taking the bus down to the shore from from the city. I had to stop in Tom's River, which I guess is the thorough point. Is that a word? It's like the last. It's like we have to make a change if you want to get a bus to to Atlantic City, and I was just stunned at the people who were getting on to go to Atlantic City. Like, it was they looked like walking, if cigarettes could come to life. Like, you remember those old infomercials where there'd be like a living cigarette, like a cartoon, and he'd be trying to convince people to smoke, but the cigarette would just start looking more and more sickly. That is the kind of people who were getting on the bus to go to Atlantic City. And like, that was like, they were like, yeah, I remember going to Atlantic City at midnight on a Wednesday. Like, it was very, very strange. And look, I love AC. AC is a fucking blast. They got everything you want. You want to load up on some food, they got that. You want to do some gambling, they got that. You want to go to a club, they got that. You want strippers, they got that. You want the beach, they got that. Ripley's, believe it or not. Nathan's hot dog, everything. There's a little something for everybody in Atlantic City. But these did not look like people who should be, heading down to AC for a couple days. You know what I mean? Like, it looked like they maybe had some shit that they should be, working on the home front, improving themselves, fixing things up. Instead, they got another pack of parliaments, and they're dishing out quarters on the bus down to take the bus to AC. It was very perplexing, and you realize, look, we all started as screaming, crying infants, and yes, obviously some people had a slightly easier path through life than others. But I mean, at some point, you gotta say, maybe less cigarettes, less Atlantic City, a little more coconut water and yoga. You fix things up a little bit. Maybe moisturize once in your life. Just rub some on, put it in there. Just fascinating, amazing to see how some people will use, because you get one trip through human existence. That's it. I'm not convinced that we have any kind of reincarnation going on yet. It would be great, would be fantastic. Come back, do something else. Be like the fucking King of England or some shit. See what it's like to get your ass kicked by old Tommy Jeff and those guys. Maybe you want to come back as Mickey Mantle. Maybe, I don't know, you want to come back as Hitler. You get to see what it's like to be a dictator. Come back as Picasso. You could be a painter. Maybe that would be kind of cool. But as far as I know, there is no reincarnation. So if you've decided that the best way to use your time on this planet, your limited, valuable, precious time on planet Earth, is to smoke cigarettes, chain smoke cigarettes, and ride an NJ Transit bus to Atlantic City at 1 o'clock in the morning, then I don't know what to fucking tell you. There are probably better ways to do it. That's kind of what I'm saying. What am I looking here? I already worked my way through those notes, and we're 15 minutes in. Like I said, probably going to be a shorter episode this week. In any case, social media. Before I jump in, I got some news stories to go through here. You have no idea how fucking hot my head is right now with this stupid fucking wig on. If you're listening to the audio version, I'm live streaming this right now, and I have a Revolutionary War wig and hat on, to be festive, because it is 4th of July weekend, and I am sweating my fucking balls off. Like, my head is on fire because it is a summer day. So anyway, social media, facebook.com/The Savage Crew, Twitter @Mike Montone, Instagram @Gary_Moyler, MOYLER, and thesavagecrew.libsyn, LIBSYN.com is where you can find the audio version of this podcast. I know someone who calls it that. Okay, so what do we got? Fuckery in Charlottesville. The women's soccer team is getting yelled at, apparently, for making fun of England. And we've got this kerfuffle over the Betsy Ross shoe. So if you will give me a moment, I will pull out my tablet, and we'll get into those. And, what is this? Fuckery. Get out of here. Okay. we'll start in Charlottesville. That sounds fun. So, and this is great, right? Just right in time for the 4th of July. The guy who wrote the fucking Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson, probably my favorite president of all time. So this is of particular bother to me. Thomas Jefferson's hometown of Charlottesville, Virginia, will no longer mark his birthday. April 13th, they will no longer be holding a celebration for him. City officials voted to scrap the holiday in honor of the slave-owning third president of the United States, and instead adopted Liberation and Freedom Day to be celebrated each March 3rd, commemorating the day Army forces arrived in Virginia near the end of the Civil War. So, yeah, anyway, the article doesn't give too much information here, but, essentially what's been going on is, you may remember there was all sorts of shit about Columbus last year. They wanted to tear down the statues, and then they were tearing down the Confederate statues and stuff. Well, now they've moved on to the Founding Fathers, namely Thomas Jefferson, because Jefferson owned slaves. Actually, most of the Founding Fathers owned slaves, because it was the 18 or 1700s, and people back then owned slaves. But apparently, we are only now looking at history through the lens of woke assholes. Thomas Jefferson, by the way, responsible for everything that we have here right now. And the guy was very liberty-minded. He wrestled with the idea of slavery, and people are like, well, that's not enough. He had to be completely anti-slave. Except human thinking just really hadn't evolved to that point yet, because what people don't realize, and look, this isn't to exonerate slave owners in any way. Slavery was horrible, particularly American chattel slavery. It's a terrible black mark on the history of this country. It's our original sin. It sucks. We would be better off had we not had it. But slavery existed throughout human history, all over the world. Still exists today, by the way. In Libya, they have open-air slave markets, and it exists in places that are predominantly filled by what we would call in America people of color, and they're enslaving each other. So there's an interesting angle to that that no one really brings into play. But slavery was always a thing, and it usually had very little to do with race or ethnicity. It had much more to do with simply subjugating conquered people to do your work for you. And a few things played into, the slave situation in the U.S. The big driver was the fact that populations from certain parts of Africa were immune to the kind of malaria that ran rampant in the southern and coastal United States. So your best bet economically was to bring in slaves from that area. And how did you get the slaves? You were subjugating people that you conquered. Europeans had a big technological advantage over a lot of those African tribes, so they were like the easiest ones to kind of grab and round up and bring into the slave community. So it had less to do with, hey, we're going to be racist, that stuff. And yes, obviously, to enslave, so you do to a degree have to, deny. You're of course denying their humanity. But the real harsh racism came later. As I'm not saying, they were treated horribly. The treatment was incredibly harsh. No one's going to argue that. There was nothing good about slavery. So let's make that. I'm not making an argument in favor of that. But what the point I'm trying to make is that we're viewing a guy who wanted, in a lot of ways, wrestled with the idea of, look, how do we end slavery while not completely upending this country's economy and the ability of people to survive? It was something that he wrestled with and tried to figure out in his brain. He didn't have the advantage of looking back in the year 2019 to how it all would have played out. I guess that's the way to put it together. It doesn't mean that it was right for him to have a farm with slaves, or if it was right for him to be sleeping with his slaves, or just, whatever was fucking going on. It doesn't mean that that's right, but it also doesn't mean that you have to fucking hey, I got a live stream going.
What's that?
I got a live stream going.
Upstairs. Yeah.
They closed the door. I don't know. It's very hard to do anything without interruption around here. I don't even know where the fuck I was. I think the greater point is that it's to hold someone from the 1700s responsible for their actions through the lens of a woke 2019 person who has seen understands the horrors of Jim Crow and things like chattel slavery, particularly through in the 1800s when the South could tell that teetering on the brink, and some of that white anger and resentment towards slaves really started to come through. It's not fair, and it's silly to deny Jefferson's role in the history of and the forming of this country simply because he was a slave owner. I mean, if that's the case, then we're essentially going to have to wipe out all of history and start over. I mean, when? I mean, you're gonna keep nitpicking then, because you're gonna fast forward. You're gonna be like, all right, the 1960s, and then it's gonna be like, well, you're gonna find something about someone who did something important in the 60s. You're like, well, we can't have, and you're just gonna keep chopping things closer and closer and closer, and then it's like, I don't know. It just seems silly. It just seems absolutely silly. And now, if you were like, I understand it with, if you're like, I understand it with Columbus because he was a dick, then it's like, okay, who's next? And it's just a fucking slippery slope. And people said this was gonna happen. They were like, hey, once you take away one, they're gonna start taking away the others. George Washington is next. He had some slaves. A lot of these guys had slaves because it was just what you did back then, and they didn't give it the thought that we give it now, that it's wrong to deny someone that humanity. It was just not. It just wasn't in the collective conscience. Anyway, I'm going to try to rush the fuck. If you're listening to this, I apologize for the terrible quality of the episode. Normally I do this in my in my apartment where there are no distractions. Out here, down here, it's just filled with fucking distractions. So, next up, World Cup. Alex Morgan ripped by rival for distasteful tea celebration at the World Cup. I guess the English are pissed off that the women's soccer team. I don't give a shit about soccer or the World Cup, so this only landed on my radar because of Twitter. But I guess this chick scored the U.S. beat England 2-1, and this Alex Morgan chick scored the goal, and she pretended to drink a cup of tea, and people are not happy about that. This chick, I expected Alex to grab a goal, but I'm not happy with that celebration. You can celebrate how you want, but for me that is a bit distasteful, and I don't think she needs to do that. For me, I could be wrong, but it's based upon playing against England. We love our tea in England. I'm not a tea drinker, but that's what we're connected with. So I think it's a little bit distasteful. Can you fucking imagine? That's what it takes to offend the English. Like, talk about living every fucking English stereotype of just like the sexy, the sexy, not sexy. There's nothing sexy about the English. the opposite of sexy. The sissy, like the sissy little ninny sipping tea with the pinky up and then getting horribly fucking offended because somebody makes fun of you. I mean, what could be more English than that? I love it. And you really have to, the fucking Brits, I mean, we really are just better than them in every fucking way. They're like, I feel like England is the old scratched CD to America's nice crisp MP3. Like, that's the only way to describe these fucking guys. And I love that it happened like right before the 4th of July, because the 4th of July, if nothing else, obviously it's a celebration of all things that make America great, and independence and freedom and liberty and free speech and all of that cool shit. But it's also just such a huge fucking middle finger to England. I mean, because really, if it wasn't for Thomas Jefferson and those guys who did all that shit and declared independence and said, fuck you, we're out, bitches, the 4th of July would literally just be another day in the summer working, living under the crown. It would just be another day under Queen Elizabeth's reign, and we'd have all that stupid royal family shit we'd have to care about. Their stupid weddings with the carriages and shit. Ew. I hate royal watchers. Anyone who calls themselves a royal watcher is a fucking asshole. Who spends their time being interested in the British royal family? They don't fucking do anything. They're useless. It's a couple kinda ugly guys who cleaned up and dressed really nice, and their grandma's the queen, so they get to bang hot chicks. Like, that's the British royal family in a nutshell. We have a shitload of families like that in America, and nobody cares about them. Except once in a while they get a reality show, but otherwise nobody cares about them. Fuck stupid England. Nobody gives a shit. You guys suck. I don't even like chugging tea right in England's stupid faces. Good job, ladies. All right, what are we at? We're about a half hour. I'm gonna do this final story. I'm sure you can figure out which one it'll be. Well, probably, because I fucking announced what stories I would be doing before I started this thing. This stupid Anderson Cooper ad. I don't need a fucking picture of Anderson Cooper looking wistfully at some trees. Okay, here we go. Nike featuring Betsy Ross flag canceled after backlash. Nike is canceling a sneaker that featured the Betsy Ross version of the American flag from the late 18th century. So I guess Nike made a shoe, and it has the the Betsy Ross flag, the American flag that's got the circle of stars. You've seen it before. If you saw it, you'd be like, I know that one. So they the Air Max 1 Quick Strike 4th of July they canceled, based on concerns that it could unintentionally offend and detract from the nation's patriotic holiday, whatever the fuck that means. Nike is a company proud of its American heritage. Apparently not. I guess they had delivered the shoes to retailers, but then asked stores to return them after, guess who? Colin Kaepernick complained. He said he and others found the shoe offensive because of its ties to America's era of slavery. This is, like I said, you give an inch with the Thomas Jefferson shit, and they're gonna take a fucking mile. Now, a shoe featuring a flag that existed back then, again, when we were just trying to figure all this shit out, kind of like, hey, what does liberty mean? What does freedom mean? What are the implications of slavery? Kind of answering these questions that people had been trying to figure out for forever. And they're just canceling it. They're canceling history now. The website includes the shoe was set for blah blah blah. The version of the flag, according to the Smithsonian, was used in the United States from 1777 to 1795. What else? Yeah, they're just absolutely fucking preposterous. We're throwing away American history now to appease the loudest jackass in the room, I feel like is the best way to describe this. And Colin Kaepernick, for all his like protest shit with like the cops and stuff and the anthem kneeling, I was always kind of like, the protest didn't mean much to me, but I had, my feeling was, yeah, if you want to take a knee before the game, fucking go for it. I also respect the right of the team to say we're not going to play you if you cause bullshit in our locker room, but I understand that it is, I understand that, there are grievances against the police, but, digging through history books to just be like, here is why America is terrible, for all this country's flaws, we still do it better than the rest of the planet. I think that's what people don't get when they're like, well, in Switzerland, you can have all the healthcare you want. Yeah, and the government takes fucking 80% of your salary. And it's like, and they do this there, and this there, and like, all of those countries were horrible, horrible places for hundreds of years. America, on the other hand, only been around for less than 300 years, and we've already in that time hashed out and worked to correct the fucked up stuff about our country versus these other countries who literally, like France, to unfuck their shit, they had to have a revolution and chop the heads off of their leaders. Fucking Germany had that, you remember that thing that they had back in the 1930s. So, if we're being totally honest, America, yeah, it does some fucked up, retarded stuff, but nobody corrects course like America. So, maybe get off our dicks about some of this stuff. And it's absurd that something like that flag that symbolizes, those steps towards freedom, those guys who had these ideas that all men are created equal and such. And again, yeah, they had great ideas, applied some of them improperly, but all that ship was eventually righted. They were the ones, though, who said, look, we can't have this king stuff anymore. We can't have, we can't have these guys taking away rights. It's just, you brick by brick, you figure things out. And to look back and be like, hey, these guys were complete shitheads because they engaged in what was a commonly accepted practice at the time is absolutely ridiculous. Fucking bullshit, in my opinion. But look, I'm sweating my fucking dick off down here. The audio quality blows, and I don't even know how many people are fucking watching this thing. So I am going to wrap up right now. Have a lovely rest of your 4th of July weekend. Social media, facebook.com/savagecrew, Twitter @MikeMontone, Instagram @Gary_Moyler, Moyler, and of course you get the audio version of this podcast at thesavagecrew.libsyn, libsyn.com. All right, guys, see you later.